Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Diane Jenkins Abbott will cause Phyllis Summers to have a panic attack, according to the Young and the Restless recap on Thursday, March 27th. Traci Abbott also expresses her theory that Martin Laurent, not Alan Laurent, survived the balcony fall. Diane will go up to Phyllis at the GCAC and say she's sorry to hear about the drama surrounding the kidnapping. They will wind up arguing at Phyllis's table because Phyllis won't accept that Diane actually cares. Phyllis will say she's working to resolve her vengeance issues after apologizing for her outburst. Diane will mention being a lab rat in a comment regarding Phyllis's experiment, which will make Phyllis furious. Diane will apologize for provoking Phyllis, who will ultimately calm down and explain why it brought back memories of her captivity. However, because Diane needs the silence at the moment, Phyllis will become upset and urge her to simply leave. Since Diane is obviously in need of assistance, she will run into Billy Abbott on her way out and direct him to Phyllis's table. Billy will take Phyllis to the park for some fresh air after noticing that she seems to be experiencing a panic attack. Billy will talk to Phyllis about Abbott communications during Thursday's YNR episode because she will need a diversion. Billy will then confess that he has communicated with Aristotle Dumas, who has the secret to Chancellor. Billy will keep his hands clean and let Aristotle manage the mess caused by Victor Newman while providing updates on the strategy to regain Chancellor. Billy's confession will astound Phyllis, who will wonder whether he's insane. Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson will discuss whether or not to inform Connor Newman that they are once again together at home. Because of his OCD, there will be some worries regarding Connor's reaction. But in the end, Chelsea and Adam will sit Connor down and have an open discussion. When Connor learns that Adam and Chelsea are back together, he will be ecstatic about being a true family once more and will undoubtedly be overjoyed. Traci will inform Jack Abbott at Crimson Lights about her conversation with Sharon Newman and her growing unease about the warnings on Alan's phone. Traci will connect the gas expulsion notification Alan got with the gas that was pumped in the clinic. While Sharon and Phyllis were going through a psychological experiment at Havenhurst, Alan was getting these clinic security notifications. Traci won't believe she can disregard the growing amount of evidence, particularly when Alan unexpectedly proposed and abruptly expressed a desire to leave the country. Traci will be terrified that Martin was the twin who survived the balcony fall and that he has been pretending to be Alan the entire time as a result of all of this. At first, Jack will find it difficult to accept Traci's hypothesis, but he will gradually change his mind and desire to update Chancellor on the latest developments. Additionally, until they work things out, Jack will not allow Traci to travel alone with Alan and will insist that she not go to France. Traci will understand that if she is correct, she will lose the person she loves, and even if she is incorrect, Alan will never forgive her. Traci will accept Jack's consoling embrace once he confesses that he doesn't believe she is mistaken. Stay tuned for all the chaos that lies ahead, as spoilers for The Young and the Restless suggest that Traci's prophecies about Martin will come to pass. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers seems to be experiencing mental overload. It would be up to a medical professional to definitively establish whether she experienced a nervous breakdown. It is not a criticism of Stafford's character that Sharon Newman is adapting better than Phyllis to her consecutive kidnappings. In order to persuade Phyllis to meet with Sharon, Nick Newman offered to do that assessment. Nick executed the humane idea of the talk-out session that started at Crimson Lights. Just a few weeks before, her mother would have been unable to comply, but Summer Newman's presence made it easier for her to do so. Change is underway extending Alan Laurent's exposure. Alan Laurent fled. After Traci Abbott unintentionally discovered he had gotten several security breach alerts on his smartphone, he took that action. The audience is aware that Alan was the mastermind behind the kidnappings of Sharon and Phyllis. Additionally, fans believe that this guy might be Martin Laurent, Alan's presumed deceased brother. Maximizing drama is a part of daytime. Therefore, many people were surprised when Alan or Martin texted Traci to let her know that he had flown home to Paris, France, without her, in order to get ready for the wedding. It's possible that Cousin's character is utilizing this vacation to get rid of any evidence that could implicate him from his Parisian house and workplace. Additionally, he's taking a break to regroup and, presumably, keep playing tricks on everyone. Sharon Newman will be accepted by Phyllis Summers. When Nick and Summer met with Sharon, Phyllis blasted her. However, she was responding in that manner due to mental muscle memory. Phyllis understood that Nick was correct, hence his presentation to her was successful. Since they both went through the same nightmare, Sharon is the only person on Earth who understands Phyllis's feelings. Sharon has started to deal with what happened, though, as seen by her capacity to digest it and her readiness to travel to Europe with her kids. Because of her background in counseling, Sharon is also a good fit for Phyllis, who needs someone who can relate to her in the same way that Case's character can. The development of Daniel Romalotti. The unexpected encounter between Daniel Romalotti and Sharon turned out to be intriguing. He was affected by what Sharon did for his mother, but he hasn't forgiven her yet for trying to blame him for Heather Stevens' murder. Their loved ones have been and will continue to be impacted by Sharon and Phyllis's ability to save each other's lives and their capacity to grow their connection into a lasting peace. When Nick brought up the subject, Phyllis acknowledged that Daniel is the one who needs to recognize that Sharon is not a monster. The kidnapping of Phyllis and Sharon in recent years has resulted in some amazing sequences in one of the more unexpected plotlines. The likelihood that these characters' new bond will have more fulfilling and credible tales is incredibly alluring. For gorgeous couples that fans would love to see reunited are revealed by spoilers and updates for The Young and the Restless. Let's examine several romantic relationships that still enjoy a lot of fan support and examine the arguments for the show to think about bringing these former lovers back together. Teenage sweethearts Nick and Sharon. It doesn't necessarily follow that Nick Newman made the right decision, even though he effectively put Sharon Newman in the buddy zone. Nick still has the chance to change his mind and get back together with Sharon, especially if the show listens to the fans who have been fervently calling for a reunion. There may yet be a potential for Sharon and Nick to reunite in the future because their bond may never completely wane. As they say, you never really move on from your first love, and Nick's first love was unquestionably Sharon. They have remained together through thick and thin since falling in love as youngsters. Childhood friends Kyle and Summer. Even if it takes some time, Kyle Abbott and Summer Newman frequently find themselves drawn to one another. Even though Summer has recently been behaving like a cunning plotter, she unquestionably makes Kyle's life more exciting. To be honest, there isn't much of a spark between Kyle and Claire Newman. Could a renewed relationship with Summer give his life the drama and excitement it needs? We wonder if Victor Newman's dire prophecies about Kyle and Claire's romance ending in tragedy will bring good fortune to Summer. Could the third time be a charm for Adam and Sally? Many fans are disappointed by Adam Newman's breakup with Sally Spectra, despite the fact that he recently reignited his romance with Chelsea Lawson. Would there be a chance for Adam and Sally to rekindle their romance if Chelsea and Adam's relationship failed again? Supporters of Adam and Sally are hopeful that they may one day reunite as a couple, but only time will tell. They might not have as long a history as Adam and Eve. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, there might be more storyline twists involving the Alan Loran/Martin Loran twins switch in the future. There may be more to this story than meets the eye, even though many have a hunch that Alan was the twin who perished when the two brothers fell over that Paris balcony last year and Martin quickly switched roles before returning home. It's time to make predictions. How has Martin Loran maintained his calm throughout? Since the Paris balcony fall, some fans have noticed subtle signs of Martin, so they may anticipate this dual-tail switcheroo coming. Overall, though, how has Martin not lost it until recently if he has been acting like Alan the entire time? Alan and Traci had been apart for a brief period of time when he returned to Canvas the week of March 10th to 14th and Sharon Newman's kidnapper. It was mentioned that they hadn't seen one another in a long time because he was in Washington, D.C., and she was in New York for work. Martin has always been alive, but he is lurking in the background. A clip of Traci sobbing to Jack Abbott at Crimson about Alan not seeming like Alan is featured on The Young and the Restless preview for the week of March 24th to 28th. Given that they were apart for some time, is it possible that Martin lived through the balcony fall and has been lurking in the shadows for months? Is it possible that he abducted Alan while the man was in Washington, D.C.? Why does Martin snap suddenly after maintaining his composure with Traci the entire time? Why has it taken Traci so long to notice warning signs in Alan's actions? Unless Martin switched only recently, and she had already dated and fell in love with Alan? Even Alan wasn't so aware of Martin's knowing about Phyllis and Sharon's past when he made his suspicion about Sharon in December 2024. Perhaps Martin became fixated on the story after reading news reports about it online while he was hiding. Perhaps he came up with this scheme after learning that his brother had assisted Sharon. Is Alan still alive? Is it possible that Martin switched lives with him only recently? Is there any place he might be held captive? Leave a comment below. For all the action in Genoa City, watch the CBS soap opera every day. For the finest Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates, check this website frequently. ND Chelsea, but it would be their third reconciliation. When she cheated on Nick with him and became pregnant with the child she lost, that counts. Hillary and Devin, would she be resurrected? Although Devin Winters and Abby Winters have a happy marriage, many people don't think she is his true love. Hillary Curtis continues to be seen by a sizable segment of the audience as Devin's perfect match. Despite Hillary's untimely death in a vehicle accident, a surprising change of events could lead to a dramatic comeback. Fans are excited to see Hillary return to rekindle their special bond because of the chemistry that made Devin and Hillary a beloved couple. We'll keep you informed of any further developments as impending spoilers allude to possible romantic upheavals in Genoa City.